Okay, so students who are joining us now, just let us know your age on the chat. That would be great. So we know what age group we're looking for. Okay, so we've got Hussein, who's got his pen and paper ready. Well done, Hussein. We've got Juwaria, who's 11. Safia, who's 7. Okay, that's brilliant. So we are just going to wait for another 4 minutes. So if you need to do anything in the meantime, everyone, you can go do that. We are going to start 5:05 sharp. Try and get your other brothers and sisters to join in because it's going to be a fun lesson with Ustadh Emre today and myself. So do bring your siblings along, your parents. And also, I wanted to very quickly mention that I've decided that our archery session, rather than rush it, we'll rather do it next Wednesday. And then next Wednesday, I will set a project for the following week. So bear that in mind. You will get some fun homework today as well. So I've like an optional bonus homework. There's 2 films that I've got, okay? And I will explain which films they are as they relate to the textbook. And if there's any homework from Ustadh Emre, that's also a bonus homework which you can do if you have time as well. Okay, any questions in the meantime as we are waiting? So either on YouTube or on Zoom, if you have any questions at all, please do type them up and ask away. And Ustadh Emre, how are you feeling?
Alhamdulillah, I am okay. How about you, Ustadh?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm very happy that you're here with us.
Yes.
You can enable your camera if you like now, and
yeah.
Cool, brilliant. Okay. So Ustadh Emre, what's going to happen is at 5:05, we are going to start our lesson. And if there's any questions for you, what I will do, either on YouTube or Zoom, I will at some point let you know that, look, here's a question. Please do answer this if you can. And but I will start off, inshallah, very briefly on how I got to meet yourself. So I'll give a bit of background on that and then ask you a few questions in the meantime, and then move on to Badiuzzzaman Sayyid Nursi very briefly, and then we'll start the actual session. So that will be like a 10-15 minute session, inshallah. Okay. And thereafter that, we have enough time today because we've moved our archery session to next week because that's going to take a long time. So I didn't want to squeeze it in the last half an hour. So that's that. And just to ask you whilst we're waiting, have you done any archery, Ustadh Emre?
I try just a few shots, but I haven't done any courses for archery.
Okay, where did you try that?
Yeah, it was just becoming more popular. When I was like a kid, it was not that much popular.
Yeah.
So they opened up a foundation for archery. So, but in my childhood,
is that the one? Is that the one in Istanbul or Izmir?
In Istanbul, yeah, there's one in
Oh
Istanbul.
yeah.
And do you know how it started? The archery.
Is it the one that Sultan Mehmed Fatih started, but then it kind of went into disarray, and then it was revived just about a decade ago. If you want to tell us about that we're more than happy to hear you.
Istanbul was conquered by Ottomans in 1453. So they also took to Hagia Sophia. It's one of the greatest. It was the greatest church at those days. And they removed the idols and they put it in the middle, and then they start to put some archery on it because they treat like an idol. So there's a faith reason like there, because Islam, you cannot accept any idols or statues. So they call it puta. So they start to shoot with this puta, the idols, where it was located in the famous church Hagia Sophia.
And that's why in Turkish and in the Ottoman Turkish, the actual target for archery is called the puta, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. Which means actually idols.
Yeah.
That's how it started. Since then, since like 1453, so it became a traditional also sports in Turkey.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so let's have a look. We have Haris with us today. We have Dania, who's just joined us. Assalamu alaikum, Dania. Welcome for joining us. We have Hussein, and then we have Hussein Tahir. So if the first Hussein can maybe put up your surname if you can. If not, just type it up and I'll change it for you so we know the different Husseins. And then we also have Safia who's joined us, and we also have Juwaria. And let me just change her name because she's using my tablet. So yeah, okay, that's cool. And we have 4 students on YouTube. So sometimes during the lesson, it'll go up and down, but don't worry, by the time we get to activities, we should have more, inshallah. So I think we won't wait any longer because it's already 7 past. We've given enough time, and we will be starting now, inshallah. Okay, so is everyone ready to start? So first of all, I would like to thank Ustadh Emre. So Ustadh Emre, we just put Ustadh meaning teacher at the beginning of our teachers' names, just out of respect. So our students do that for all our teachers, even if they haven't met them yet, or even if a person teaches them one letter, we say that we need to have that kind of respect and say Ustadh, which means teacher. Dania needs to do her presentation. Yes, we will try and get that sorted. I'll need to talk to admin about that as well. But for now, we are going to start the session. Okay, so Jazakallah for joining us, Ustadh Emre. So a very brief history of how I got to meet Ustadh Emre in Istanbul. So it was about, I think, 2 years ago when I went to meet Ustadh Yahya because he was doing his PhD and he was going to come back in December. And I went on a tour of Hagia Sophia, which was also being done by another friend who lives in Istanbul. And as we finished, I had about 3 hours of free time before I went back to meet Ustadh Yahya. So I thought, I've seen Istanbul quite a lot of times. Let me just try and explore places where I've never been. So as I was walking past this building, okay, and I was walking and I thought, I don't think I've been in there before. And it was the Great Sinan Pasha Madrasa and Tomb. So because it was a madrasa, I thought, we have our madrasa, let's just go and see what's happening in this madrasa and what it's become, because obviously a lot of the sites that used to have certain functions before have changed their function now because of whatever change, political, social, economic changes. And as I went inside, Ustadh Emre was there and he welcomed me and he took me to a room and they started bringing all these refreshments and tea and everything. And as almost every Turkish institute and organization does, and we're very well aware of the ikram and also the nature of our Turkish brothers and sisters. So alhamdulillah, after that, then Ustadh Emre spoke to me about something that he did. Okay, so he was studying, and he will tell you about himself a bit more, and I'll ask him some questions. But he was studying at university, and he kind of came into Islam via certain, academics, via certain personalities, which he will talk about. Now, he wrote this book over here. So this book is called Textbook for College Students, Islam, Fundamentals of Belief. And this is, do you have this in Turkish as well, or is it just in English?
It was done by English, but it was translated into Turkish, alhamdulillah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so the original textbook is in English, and the translation is now also done in Turkish. So in our madrasa at Fatima Elizabeth Frontistery, some of our teachers have actually used this book, taken out ideas and activities to teach our students. So that's what we're going to be doing today at some point. That we've chosen 2 activities that we're going to do. The first one, which is a longer one, more meaty one, which Ustadh Emre is going to be teaching from his own book. So that's really exciting that we have Ustadh Emre teaching from his own, authored textbook. And then I chose a very simple, easy one as well, which if we get time, we'll do at the end as well. Okay, so now So first of all, I'm going to ask Ustadh Emre why he wrote this textbook. Why did you feel the need to write this textbook? That's first question. And then after you've answered that question, I will play a very short clip about this textbook.
Okay. So why the textbook? When I was in the US, when I was living in US, it was my dream to come up a textbook where we can insert the teaching of the Risale-i collection. And I'll explain also Risale-i collection later on. And so because I wanted to make it like a more lively, a more interactive Islamic teaching in the classroom setting. So Alhamdulillah, after that I moved to, it was my dream when I was in US. Then I moved to Philippines. So I met the Minister of Education in the southern part of the Philippines. They call it Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao, where there are like 3 million students. So we met the head person of Commission of Higher Education in the Philippines. So I talk about my dream, and then they say, okay, I am welcome if I come up with the book. So it was like a long journey. I took up my master's in education. So we tried to make one textbook, but it was not really what we wanted. So it was like a long journey. But Alhamdulillah, we came out with this Islam 1 textbook. So it was accepted by the Chet Arm, which is the Muslim region of the southern Philippines. Later on, it was accepted by Minister of Culture in UAE. So Alhamdulillah, also it was translated in Malaysian, and inshallah soon to be published in Malaysian. And he saw the French translation is also on process now. So inshallah it will be done also in French translation. Turkish translation also done. And what is the catchy thing? Because it's like more on there are lots of activities. We try to engage the students into the classroom setting. And why there are lots of games and activities? Because we believe that it increases the motivation of the students, and then it's a less stressful for the students. And also it's increased the class cooperation and teamwork. And also it helps the students to stay focused. So this is the main thing with the activities, why there are lots of activities and gaming. And also it's like more on, we call it student oriented. So in the modern education, they say we need to involve the student into education. It's not like a one-way teaching. So teachers should involve the kids into the education. And also it's like a transformative model of education through activities and through the Risale collection.
Sure. Also, Ustadh Emre, if I can stop you there for a second.
Sure.
We have a student, Safia. She wants to ask a question on mic. So I have enabled her mic. Sure. Safia, do you want to ask a question? Go on, Safia. Your mic is enabled. You can ask a question now.
I was just saying, are we going?
Yeah, ask your question, Safia.
I was just saying, are we going to watch the clip about this textbook now?
Yes, we're going to do that. So, Ustadh Emre, I will come back to the question on Badi'u Zaman after the clip. And then as part of that, we can talk about Risale Noor as well.
Okay, sure. Okay.
So Jazakallah for that, Safia. We will watch that now. I'm just going to stop sharing and then come back so I can share properly. Okay, I'm going to share the clip now. So it's a very short clip, but it'll be nice. Okay. Sorry, just bear with me for a second, everyone. Okay. Just bear with me for another 10 seconds and we should be sharing that live, inshallah. Okay, right. Right, can everyone see the screen now? Safia, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do this now.
We have always dreamt to have an effective book for our Islamic education, especially in our schools. Why? We need to learn proper knowledge about Islam so that we can succeed in practicing Islam better in a complex 21st century landscape. Great news for students, teachers, and self-educators. Now our dream has come true. Just like Fundamentals, Faith, the first of the series of textbooks, this book is perfect for those who wish to learn the 6 pillars of Islamic faith. Well supported by evidences from the Quran and Hadith, great contribution from Tafsir of the Holy Quran, Risale al-Nur collection. Risale al-Nur proves the basic tenets of Islam based on rational proofs, focused on critical thinking, full of clear evidences, many group activities, encouraging reflection, plenty of meaningful knowledge, inspiring messages, heart-touching stories, fun activities, and challenging exercises. If you'd like to get a copy or order for your school, please contact us now.
Okay, right. I'm just going to stop sharing and go back to the PowerPoint. So that was the clip. I have put those links on the PowerPoint, and that PowerPoint I will be sharing on our website as well. So if any students need to do the homework or anything else, it should be on this PowerPoint. So not to worry. Okay, not to worry. So I'm just going to go back to our PowerPoint in a second now.
And
Right.
Assalamu alaikum, by the way, if anybody came late, my name's Emre, Ustadh Emre from Turkey.
Yes.
Yeah,
So if anyone has just joined now, Ustadh Emre is with us, and Ustadh Emre is the person who wrote this textbook that we are currently talking about. Okay, so if you want to watch that video later on, if you just joined, I put the link here on the PowerPoint. I've also put the link for the website on the PowerPoint, so you just need to click on this and you'll be able to get to that page. Okay, moving on now, and I do realize that we're running out of time. So moving on. So Ustadh Emre, I liked your book because when I looked through it, as that clip explained, there's different ways that you're looking at each topic, okay? So you're not just looking at a topic based on aqeedah, or you're not looking at a topic just based on fiqh. You've gone beyond those disciplines, and you'll take one topic, then you look at it from a critical perspective, you look at it from a logical perspective, you look at it from a somewhat scientific perspective as well. And then all of that comes together through some of the activities that you have given at the end of each chapter. And those activities are very engaging, they're kinesthetic, where people are doing lots of things to better understand the topic. So what we're going to do today is choose 2 of those topics, and we will go ahead with them. Now, one thing I saw in the book, so here's my copy. Can everyone see? Okay, so this is my copy of the textbook by Ustadh Emre. And in this book, I kept on coming across 2 things. So first of all, this person, whose picture you can see, his name is Badi'uzzaman Said Nursi, or people know him in short as Said Nursi, right? Now, he has done so much in Turkey in the past, and he is a very well known scholar, a reviver in a sense as well. So I wanted to ask Ustadh Emre to tell us, why have you chosen someone like Badi'uzzaman Said Nursi and his quotes from Risale Nur, okay, in your textbook? So if you can let us know that. Why Said Nursi?
Okay, maybe I can start from my own story.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Your kids very lucky because they enroll your madrasa so they can learn proper Islamic knowledge. But in my time, that we didn't have any madrasa that we can enroll and learn about Islam. So till like a university years, I haven't really studied and learned anything about Islam. So up to like a 20 years old. So Alhamdulillah, when I was in university, I come across this collection, Islamic collection. After reading through, one of them is called Short Words that are really very great stories. It relates to the Islamic topics. and the other one is what the title was Guide for Youth. So after I read these two books from the Said Nursi, from the Risale Nur collection, so I start to practice Islam, alhamdulillah. But you guys blessed, you have a madrasa to study. But in my time, there was no like a proper Islamic education in my city. So I say collection because this is a collection, like a 14 books with the 6,000 pages. And it explains mostly the basic tenets of Iman. So the books talks about Tawheed, about the oneness of existence of Allah. It gives really nice proofs. So it really convinces, when you read Risale Nur collection, it really convinces you that, I mean, Allah exists, and you also convinced about the 6 minutes of the faith.
I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to see.
You need to go out. Me and you need to go out for a walk.
And
We're going to walk. Come here. Look how to do this.
so there are really interesting topics, and I will share about you after our activity. And also imagine a guy, scholar in Turkey, living in beginning of the 20th century, where he experienced very difficult times, because it was the collapse of Ottoman, there was a First World War, and also the religion was not so. Also the government was against religion at that time. So it was very easy. It was very difficult to find Islamic books to read. So everything is banned in Turkey. So it was really difficult situation. No more madrasa, no more Islamic education. But he is the one. He wrote a tafsir of Quran. He explains about he interprets the Quran and Hadith. So even though he was sent to the exile, imprisonment, persecution for 20 years. Actually, he sacrificed himself to save other people's iman in Turkey. Alhamdulillah, that's why we really appreciate with his work. And also my coming back to Islam because of those books. That's why I decided to insert his teaching into the book. So you can, in each chapter, you can find his also writings. There are like 7 chapters. We will try to tackle today the Iman part. So we will have an activity, inshallah, soon.
Inshallah. Jazakallah for that, Ustadh Emre. Just for our students, so remember, Ustadh Emre tried to explain who Sayyid Nursi was in like 2-3 minutes, right? That's never going to give us a full understanding of who Sayyid Nursi was from his historical perspective, from the social aspect and the context of what was going on at the time and how much he sacrificed. So what I've done on the next page, if you have a look, I have set some homework, okay? And it's a bonus homework. And there's 2 films that have been made, okay? So if you look at the one on the left, at the bottom left, it's called like The Free Man, Sayyid Nursi. The link for that is at the bottom. So the bottom link is the actual movie that's been made about Badi'u Zaman Sayyid Nursi, why he did what he had to do, the struggles he went through, and also the Risale Nur. It talks about the beginnings of the Risale Nur there. But also what you might find, and so that's in Turkish with English subtitles. The other movie at the top, it's actually an animation, which is going to be fun for children to watch. So it's going to be fun for you. I've watched both of them a long time ago, and I really, really enjoyed it. It gave me a good understanding of who Sayyid Nursi was. So anytime someone talks about Sayyid Nursi, I remember his stories, his sacrifices. And therefore, after watching these, when I went to Istanbul, I got many books from so many people who live in Istanbul and Turkey about Sayyid Nursi, and I've dipped through some of them, also his quotes. People have written very small booklets as well for youth and, you know, the understanding of Allah, etc. So that's something to look into. So I would definitely recommend our students, if you can't watch both of these, at least watch the animation, the cartoon version, because you will enjoy that. And the good thing about this cartoon version is you don't need to read subtitles. It's in English. So it's been dubbed in English, so you can watch it directly. So do click on that link later on. This PowerPoint, within the 5 minutes after we finish this session, it will be available on our weekly timetable under the Wednesday section. If you go there, you will see it. You will click the button and you'll find it under this video, which will be recorded as well. Okay, so because we're running out of time, we will move on to Ustad Emre's section.
Ustadh Hamid, also I can send a link for the free iBooks for one
yeah.
book for
Okay.
iTunes and the Google, so they can also read, inshallah.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So if you can send that to me on WhatsApp, I will also place that on our website alongside all these resources, inshallah.
There are really nice stories. They will enjoy it, alhamdulillah.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. I'll put that on this PowerPoint. That could be some bonus homework if you like. Okay, so we're going to start our lesson now because we are running out of time. So, so Zahra is saying that she's looking forward to it. Well done, Zahra. Do let us know how you find the stories and also the films as well. So Ustad Emre, so over to you now for this session. I will look at the chats. If there's any questions, I will jump in as well, inshallah. Good. So Hussein Tahir is saying that he's making notes. Well done, Hussein Tahir, for taking down notes. Just to let everyone know, you will need some pen. You'll need a pen and some paper, even if it's scrap paper, very shortly. So Ustad Emre, if I can pass this over to you now, inshallah.
So this is from the chapter 1, Iman, and we will have activities. What I want from you, so we need small papers, so you can have a small paper from a big paper. So what you will do, can you scroll down, Ustad?
Yep.
We can go to
the next slide.
The game is called Ship is Sinking. Okay. What we will do, please write in a small paper what you love in your life the most. So prepare 7 pieces of paper and think of the 7 most important things in your life, such as Allah, Quran, my family, my best friend, my mobile phone, my friends, internet, education, books. So it's up to you. There's no wrong or correct answer. So you can write anything you want in the small papers. So 7 things will be 7 small papers. Okay. So we'll give you a few minutes. So you can write down 7 things in 7 small paper that you love the most in your life.
Yeah. Okay. So remember, you can get some paper, rip out 7 pieces, okay, and write down on every piece 1 different thing that is the most important, and you're only writing 7. Okay, so you're going to have 7 pieces of paper, small pieces of paper. On each piece, you're going to write a different thing that is most important in your life. That's the first thing that you're going to do. That's all we're asking for. You've got another minute or so to do that. Okay. The first person to do it, just let us know. Just let me know on the chat so I have an idea of how we're doing. Okay. Those of you who are just joining us now, especially on YouTube, you can join us and do the same. You're looking at any scrap piece of paper, make small pieces as Ustad Emre showed us on the camera, and then write down on each piece, something important from your life. Yeah, so we'll give you just under a minute to get that done.
Is it clear? Are we writing it down?
Yep. Is everyone writing? Someone let me know on the chat if you're understanding what you're doing. I'm just checking the chat now.
If it is not clear,
yes.
Questions, yeah.
Yeah, so Hussein is saying yes, he's understood. Dania is saying, yep, well done, Dania, well done, Juwaria. So they're all writing it down now. Good, Jazakallah for letting us know on chat. And if you're on YouTube, you're more than welcome to let us know on YouTube as well. Otherwise, you can just carry on writing. Okay, we'll give you another 30 seconds. I think that should be enough time to think about it first. So think, and then write down on each piece of paper. And we need to make sure that everyone who's joined us does that, so we can have a proper session. So at least on Zoom, there are 9 of us, okay? And then on YouTube, there are more. And Ustad Emre, just to let you know, when one person logs in on Zoom, a lot of times there's brothers and sisters. So there might be, from one account, there might be 2, 3 people who are watching this. So in total, there might be, I'm guessing, maybe 15 people watching this from Zoom at least.
No problem. The quality is more important. Those are the kids, high quality students.
Absolutely. So if you've done all 7 pieces of paper, do let me know, and then at least we can start moving on to the next. If you need more time, let me know as well. Let me know on the chat. And it's always difficult, you know, when you're in the virtual world to have that same kind of feel as the classroom. But what we can do is we can try our best. So if you finished, just mention that you finished. If you're still writing, that's fine. Keep on writing. I'm only asking so that I get an idea of, you know, where you're at. And so does Ustadh Emre, obviously, because he's going to take us to the next step. So we're only doing step 1, okay? Remember, what you can see on the screen, we're only doing step 1. Okay.
Inshallah, when the schools open, you can do it also in the classroom.
Yes, inshallah, inshallah. Okay, so Ustadh Akifa from YouTube is saying that the children are doing it, which is good. Well done. So let us know who finishes. Okay, so we've got some more messages coming. So Zahra Ashraf, this will be good to do together when we come back, inshallah. Yes, exactly what Ustadh Emre said. Haris is saying that he's finished. Well done. Dania is done. Hussein is saying I've finished. And Juria is saying I've finished as well. So that's more or less, I think, 50% of the students on Zoom. So we'll go by that. So now that you've done that, okay, if you're still doing it, keep on writing, that's fine. But in the meantime, Ustadh Emre, if you take us on this voyage on your ship.
Yeah, let's start the voyage then. So we say the game is called Ship is Sinking. So let's imagine that we are in the ship that is about to sink. So we should throw some of our writings to save the ship. So when I say the ship is sinking, you should throw one thing. So you should maybe write it down, what you are throwing to save the ship. So I will do it 4 times. So in each round, you need to throw one more writing. Yeah. So let's start. Ship is sinking. Let's throw one thing, what you have wrote.
Yeah, so if you can maybe put that piece of paper on the side, throw it out of your imaginary ship, and write down on the chat what that one thing that you've thrown away, because the ship is sinking, we need to get rid of some of the weight and the load, okay? Yes. So please type up on YouTube or Zoom, what one thing will you throw off that ship? Okay, so write down. Okay, so Jueria is writing drawings. So she does lots of drawings. She will throw all her drawings off the ship.
School, cars.
Yeah, Dania saying school, cars. Someone said YouTube. Interesting. Okay, so maybe a tablet. Yep. Hussein Tahir said he'll throw away his books. Interesting. And Zahra saying technology. So any kind of technology she has, which could be an iPad or a game console or a tablet or a phone. So Zahra saying she'll throw off technology and focus on Allah. Okay, good. Anyone else? Okay, good. All right, Ustadh, Emre, if you want to move on to the next one.
Yeah, let's do the second round. So you need to get rid of one more thing. Okay, ship is sinking. Let's throw another weight from what you have right.
Okay, so ship is sinking. Ship is sinking. Throw off one more thing. Okay, so
thinking.
So write it down. Write it down. So Habib is saying phone, mobile phone, and Alina is also saying mobile phone, and they are both brother and sister. So that's interesting. So you'll throw your phones away. Mudassir is saying binoculars. You'll throw your binoculars away. Haris said pizza. Riyaz said TV. Dania said home. Okay. Hussein is saying family. That's an interesting one. So Hussein Tahir will grab his family, tie them up, and throw them off the deck. Okay. Oh, Jueria, interestingly, is also saying her family. And Ustadh Emre, just to let you know, that's my daughter.
Oh, you are.
Okay. So I'll be thrown off the deck. Okay, interesting. Jueria, you're in trouble after this lesson.
But say, okay. not main family. I think you are safe.
Okay, okay. So Zahra saying my fridge. She will throw away her fridge. Mudassir saying money. And Juria said not main family, as Ustadh Emre mentioned. Okay, Ustadh Emre, are we ready for our next round?
You need to throw one more thing. Ship is sinking.
Okay, ship is sinking. Ship is sinking. It's very, very heavy. We need to throw off one more thing. So what is that one more thing? Oh, actually, two more things. Two more things. So it's no longer one more thing. Could you mention two more things? What two things are you going to throw away? Because the ship is now sinking very fast. So Riaz is saying he will throw away 2 ships.
Oh.
Okay, interesting. Harris said friends and family. Okay.
Cat.
Okay. Oh,
Friends and
interesting.
family.
Julia will throw away her cat. Interesting. Friends and family, TV, friends and school. Okay. Let us know on YouTube as well what your things are. Dania is saying, what is that? Okay.
Oh.
Riaz will throw away his Quran. Interesting, Riaz. We'll talk to you about that afterwards. Hussein Tahir said school education and teachers.
Oh,
So
okay.
all of
Ustadh,
school education and teacher will be thrown off. And Mudassir is saying school, or is it Zakaria who is saying school? Interesting. Oh, sorry, I think Riaz probably mentioned that he will only have the Quran left. I think that's why he said no.
So
Okay,
if you have thrown 4 things, let's write down what is the remaining 3 things in your hand. Can you write it down? The 3 things in your hand.
Yes. So maybe you want to number them. So number 1, 2, 3. Write down 3 things
So
that you
ship
have
is not
left.
saving anymore. So let's share what you have.
Oh, okay, cool. So ship is safe. Share what you've got left. Share what you have left. Just to let you know what Habib is mentioning, mobile, football, because YouTube is just 30 seconds behind also. Okay, so interesting things coming in. Haris saying Allah, prayer and technology. Good. Quran. Hussein Tahir saying Quran, Allah and Islamic education.
Wow.
Dania, I think, is mentioning food. Okay. And Mudassir is, okay, Yunus. Okay.
Wow, mashallah.
MashaAllah. Yunus
Quran, knowledge
is,
of Allah.
yeah. Zahra saying Quran, knowledge of Allah, and my ustads and ustadas. That's very nice. That's very kind of you, Zahra. Dania saying food. Okay. Zahra said that's why I have left. And Juwaria is saying number 1, Allah, number 2, dad, number 3, mum, and number 4, sisters.
But there should be 3 only.
There should only be 3. So you may have to throw either me out, your mum, or your sisters.
Food, Allah, Quran.
Yes, food, Allah, and Quran. Jazakallah for that, Zahra. That's very, very kind words from you. So what you could have done, Juwaria, to make life easy, you could have just said your Quran and your family, your actual family, or your parents. That's easier, yeah. You can lump them together. That's very kind, Zahra. Absolutely kind. Mudassir said everyone, parents. Fantastic. On YouTube, Ustadh Emre, just want to mention on YouTube, Habib is mentioning the 3 things that he's got left, and that's parents, grandparents, and his sister Alina. He'll keep Alina on board. Well done, Habib. That's very kind. I thought Alina would be the first person you'd throw off the ship, but you've decided to keep Alina. Well done, and well done, or congratulations, Alina, for that. Okay, right. Right, Ustadh Emre, back over to you now.
So 3 things that we have, the things that remaining, 3 things. Actually, this is what we love the most in our life. As I said at the beginning, there is no wrong or right answer. But we will talk about next slide. Can we move to the next slide, please?
Yep.
So as I say, the remaining 3 things are those you value the most, and it reflects our purpose in life. So next one.
Next slide. Okay.
And as we know, everything has a purpose. So all-wise Creator creates everything for a purpose. He creates the air for living beings to breathe. The sun is created to sustain life. So everything from tiniest atom to the sun has been given specific purposes. Definitely human beings, the highest form of creation, are created for the highest purposes. So what are the purposes? So any idea? Some of them, actually, you keep it in your hand. This is our purpose in life. So why we are sent to this world? Because we are here to have faith in Allah, to believe in Allah, and then the 6 pillars of the also Iman, and to worship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is our main purpose. So alhamdulillah, most of you kept what the Quran says as a purpose. you kept Quran, you kept Islam. Alhamdulillah, you are really getting good education from the madrasa. Alhamdulillah. Can we
We
go
move to the next slide?
Yeah.
Oops, there we go.
So the purpose of sending of the man to this world, recognizing the creator of all beings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believing in him and worshipping in him. So because the topic was the faith, so we tackle about the faith, the chapter 1. So let's go to next. One more.
One more.
We can come to reading part. We can maybe, because we have only 20 minutes left. I'm gonna ask you guys, do you know Mona Lisa, right? This is one of the most expensive arts. So, and do you know how much, can you estimate how much it is? How much pounds art value of the Mona Lisa? Maybe can you make a guess?
Yeah. So any guesses? Remember, there's no such thing as a silly guess. Give us a guess how much you think it is. Even I don't know, but all I know is very, very expensive.
Yes.
Okay, so Jury is saying £1 billion.
Wow.
Sophia said millions of pounds. Dania said £100, I'm guessing. So, good
0.5
guesses.
billion. Wow.
2.5 billion, good.
I think 5 billion or...
It looks like 5 billion, I think. Hussein Tahir said £50. Maybe a copy of it, yeah, £50 maybe. The ones that you can get from eBay, it might be £50. 3 million, 10 million, 2,000, 100 million. Okay. So one thing we know, it's really, really expensive. So Ustadh Emre, back over to you.
Yes. Can you move one slide forward?
Wow.
So I just checked today. It's like almost 7 million pounds. So imagine it's just a picture, but what it makes it more valuable. So next slide, please. So we will have a reading session from the Islamic collection, very quick, and we will connect with the Mona Lisa. Through the light of Iman, man rises to the highest of the high and acquires value, virtue of paradise. Among man's art, the value of the material used, that of the art, are entirely different. Sometimes they are equal, sometimes the material is more valuable, and then sometimes it happens that £5 worth of art is to be found in material like iron worth of 5 pennies. Sometimes even an antique work of art is worth a million, while the material of which it is composed is not worth 5 pennies. If such a work of art is taken to the antiques market and ascribed to a brilliant and accomplished artist of a former times, the announcement mentioning the artist and that art, it might be sold for £1 million. Whereas if it is taken to the scrap dealers, the only price received will be for the 5 pennies worth of iron. For example, if you bring Mona Lisa to the scrap dealer who cannot understand any art, how much they will pay? For example, he doesn't know about the Mona Lisa, he doesn't know the value of the art. Maybe he will give a few pounds just for the material. Right?
If I was a scrap dealer, I will give maybe £10.
Yeah, maybe just, the material maybe costs only £10.
Yeah.
So what make it valuable? The art on the picture makes it valuable. The next one.
Okay.
Thus, man is a such antique work of art of Almighty Allah. Also, we are all, and all the creation and also us, is an antique work of art of Allah. And he is the most subtle and graceful miracle of his power, whom he created to manifest all his names and their inscriptions. Iman, which consists of being connected to the Maker, makes apparent all the works of art in man, man's value in accordance with the dominical arts, and by virtue of being a mirror to the eternally besought one. In this respect, insignificant man becomes Allah's addressee and the guest of the sustainer virtue of paradise, superior to all other creation. So what makes us valuable? What makes like antique of our art? Our iman, our connection to the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it valuable. Otherwise, if you don't believe, it's like we are like the things brought to the scrap dealer. We don't have any value. So as a humankind, what makes us valuable? To believe in Allah, to become a good Muslim, alhamdulillah. So this is what we should accomplish. Be like a word of like a Mona Lisa.
And such a brilliant example that should make us think and reflect. Are we like Mona Lisa? Have we become that work of art through our faith? Or are we just a copy or a fake? So that's an interesting one. Sophia wants to ask a question, I think. Can I show my face and my mic? Yes, you can, Sophia. Let me just enable that. If you have a question for Ustadh Emre, let me just do that, Ustadh, for a second. Okay, so Sophia, I am going to enable your mic. Okay, and then I will disable it afterwards. So off you go. Sophia, if you have a question, please do ask away. Okay, Sophia, go for it.
So basically, what else did she do?
Oh, interesting. Okay. So Ustadh Emre, Sophia is
Yes.
asking, what else did Mona Lisa do?
This is the name of the picture, but Leonardo da Vinci, the one who made this painting. So he also made other work of arts, but the famous one is the Mona Lisa. This is the most expensive one. So actually, what we can understand here, the more we have faith in Allah, the more we become more valuable in the sight of Allah. So if you become a good, better Muslims, actually we are increasing our value in the sight of Allah. So we should try our best to be good Muslims here.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And just to add to that, Ustadh Emre, I just Googled it now as well. So Sophia, if you really want to know about Mona Lisa, she was just a model who Leonardo da Vinci just made a portrait out of. The real life model who posed for Leonardo da Vinci's iconic painting was pushed into a wedding with wealthy Florentine merchant. Okay, so she was kind of forced into marriage. That's what came out of her. I mean, that's just a bit of history there. But okay, coming back to Ustadh Emre, should we go to the next slide?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So also belief destroys human nature, transform into from diamonds into coal. Do you know, guys, what is the raw material of the diamond and the coal? It is the same mineral. Under the more pressure and heat, actually coal become a diamond. Do you know what kind of element is it?
Does anyone know what kind of element it is? So a bit of science now. As I mentioned, this book has science in it as well. So anyone, maybe you want to quickly check, give me the answer?
Yes, Zehra, give the right answer, carbon. Yes.
Oh, well done, Zahra. Excellent. Well done.
Excellent. Yeah, nice, mashallah. So if the carbon is under more pressure and heat, by the time it transforms from coal to diamond, actually it's the same mineral, but over the more pressure and heat, it transforms into the diamond. So we have the same element here. Everybody has life here in this earth. We have a heart also. So it's the same elements, but it is our choice if we want to be diamond in this life or the coal. So what makes us diamond? The faith, iman, believing in Allah. So being a good Muslim actually makes us diamonds. So, and it increases the quality as well. It's like there are some diamonds, maybe low quality. There are some diamonds, better quality. So we need to strive hard here. We need to work hard here. So to gain the love of Allah, to become a diamond pieces in this life. So diamond, what happened to the coal? Coal is good for barbecue only. It's good for burning. But they display the diamonds in the big museums. So the museum means maybe it's like a paradise for us. So coal is, the opposite. So let's be diamond here. Let's have a good faith, good Muslim here. So we will have a diamond pieces. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala display us in the paradise, inshallah.
Allah, that's such a beautiful example. So students, it's your choice actually. You can start from now. Do you want to remain a coal or do you want to become a diamond by working on your belief? So that is the point. And these are the kind of examples I love in this textbook.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's some homework from Ustadh Emre. So remember, this is your bonus homework, which you can look into.
You have given homework. This is my homework.
Yep.
And please write your insights about the importance of Iman, or you can choose the other assignments. What are the differences between man and animals? So you can have a reflection paper and your insights, either of them, either importance of Iman, why Iman is important for us as a Muslim, or can you compare between animals and the man, and please submit to us so we can check how it is.
Yeah. And also, just to let you know where to submit and how to submit, and this goes to all parents as well, what I've now done is on the page on our website, which is for teachers' resources. So
Mhm.
next to each class where we have teachers' resource, next to that, you have another button to upload your homework. Now, I will be creating one for my Islamic studies session somewhere on that page. So look out for that. I will have all my Islamic studies things there as well. But just for you to upload your homework for my sessions, it's going to be on that page which says teachers or online resources. So you can upload whichever format. It could be Word or whatever format that you have and you want to upload. So that's where you're going to do that. And I can also, inshallah, share that with Ustadh Emre and see what he says about your work. Okay.
Hope they like the example of diamond.
Yes, absolutely. I love that example. So remember, students, remember that example in your life. Do you want to be a diamond or do you want to stay a coal? And it's your effort on your faith that will determine what you want to be.
And all the problems, struggles, actually, it's like a pressure in our life. So
That's
even
like
the
that fire, yeah.
coronavirus is like a pressure on us, but it's like at the same time, Allah wants us to increase our quality. So inshallah, if you put our patience, be Allah increasing our quality by giving some calamities, problems. So
Absolutely, inshallah. Should we move to the next slide? Oh, and here are Ustadh Emre's details. So, and again, if you need to contact him regarding his book or any questions you have about this lesson or any future lessons or anything else that you want to ask him a question about, he's very kindly given us his email address, his WhatsApp number, and also he's also shared the website address and also is that the YouTube for the cartoon? For the textbook content, that's also there as well. So we're giving you everything that you need. It's up to you how far you want to go with that. Okay. Should we go to the next slide, Ustadh Emre?
I think we can we are done. Okay, I can read that one.
Yeah. So let's do a bit of reading. The difference between man and animal. Okay, let's go.
I'll give you some tips then for your homework. You can take a note from here. Iman makes man into man. Indeed, it makes man into a king. Since it is so, man's basic duty is Iman and supplication. Differences shows that the humanity becomes humanity through Iman. While animals come into the world, they come complete in all points in accordance with their abilities, as though having been perfect in another world, that is, they are sent. They learn all the condition of their lives, their relationships with the universe, and the laws of the life in either 2 hours or 2 days or 2 months and become proficient in them. When you look at the animals, actually, they are like a sense, they are like a perfected. After a few hours, the animal can run, can walk. After sometimes they can easily fly. But when look at our life, we need to learn from babyhood up to the grave. So it means they have different duties and we have different duties. And maybe we can go to next slide.
Sure. Yep.
There's a story about this. One upon a time, a man met a cow The cow seemed very busy, and the man asked the cow, "Hey, you seem very hardworking and busy. What makes you busy?" The cow replied, "Yeah, I'm quite busy. Why you don't see? Look around you. Beef steak from me, kebab from me, milk from me, cheese from me. Even the leather from the shoes from me. Allah bestow all those through me for you." The cow asked the man, "And what makes you busy, O man?" For example, when you look at the cow, it's like a factory, right? So we benefit from the meat, we benefit from the milk. So we benefit and we make the milk cheese. Out of milk, we make cheese, ice cream. Even from the leather of the cow, we make a shoes. I mean, we make a bags. It's very productive. But when the cow asks us, okay, what makes us busy here? So what we should say, we are here to have a faith in Allah. We are here to uh, do 5 daily prayers. We are here to help our friends. We are here to, be obedient to our family. So this is how we can win the argument. But if you just say to the cow, we are here just to eat, drink, and sleep, I think the cow seems more productive than us. So because they are like producing lots of things. So our role here to be a good Muslims, so that we can be, superior than the other creatures, superior than the cow. So, inshallah, you are doing it very, very much, and you have in this madrasa, mashallah, there are really brilliant, hardworking kids. So it's really reflecting from their answers. So it is alhamdulillah to have this session. Inshallah, also you can benefit from this textbook, and then I will share you a book called Short Words. So this is from the Sayyid Nursi. There are stories relating to the Islamic subjects, and also at the same time you can watch the animation video that Ustadh Hamid mentioned. So if you have any questions, we can take it before the session ends.
Any questions for Ustadh Emre and his textbook?
Or any reflection, any comments, we are happy to hear them.
Yep. Any reflections? Anything you want to say to Ustadh Emre? Okay. So I want to take this time to thank and say Jazakallahu khairan to Ustadh Emre for firstly taking out that time to write this book, to write this textbook. Because remember, there's so many textbooks out there, and everyone, kind of learns in different ways, right? Everyone learns about Islam in different ways. And therefore, a book like this adds to that facilitation, adds to that. So there might be some students who, cannot learn from a textbook if it's only looking at it from one perspective, or is only talking about certain stories. Some people want a multidisciplinary approach. So meaning you want to look at one story or one topic from different angles and different ways to make it more meaningful. I think that's where this book or this textbook comes to the forefront. And inshallah, Ustadh Emre will be ensuring that this book is published widely in the UK for everyone to be able to get this book. So I definitely recommend, even if your madrasa, so even if there's students join now on YouTube as well with us who are not part of our madrasa or any madrasa, even if your parents get this textbook and go through this book, you will have a very good and well-rounded, holistic understanding on the fundamentals or the basics of Islam. So I think it's very important that even if you're not studying this in the madrasa, you can always do this yourself with your parents at home. And also do some of the fun activities. And as I looked in one of the activities, which we can actually do in the next few weeks or months, there's this really cool activity. Look, it's making an aeroplane, right? You don't really get those kind of activities. So I won't tell you what it's about, but maybe at some point you can keep on chasing me up, just as you're doing about archery, to find out what that aeroplane making out of paper activity is and how it's related to Islamic studies. So I won't tell you exactly what it is, but what I will do is leave you on a cliffhanger. Okay, Zahra's got a question. Is the movie going to be on the FEP website? Yes, I will put it up. So, you know, when you go onto our online timetable, you go to Wednesday, you go to my section, and you click on the recorded bits. I will put it there. I will put the PowerPoint there. Okay. And when you go into the PowerPoint, you can click on the link. Okay. And can we order your books on Amazon? So that's the first question. So Ustadh Emre, would you like to answer that?
This book not yet available, inshallah. I mean, it will be available soon, inshallah, in Amazon.
Inshallah, inshallah. So at the moment it's not available, but if you want to use it whilst it's not out yet, you can always ask me and you can borrow my, I think I bought a couple of these, so you can borrow one of mine and I will keep one here all the time. Okay. Zahra said, inshallah, I will be able to get it. Inshallah, Zahra, inshallah. And inshallah, once it's published in England, then it will very easily be available from your local bookstores as well. Because it's only first few years that this has been out. A lot of times it does take more time for these books to be widespread throughout the world. Okay, that's fantastic. Now, our session has come to an end. We have run out of time, but if students want, we can do one short last activity. And that's the activity that I chose from the book, which is an easy short one. So let me know if you want to do an activity which will take 5 to 10 minutes. Just say yes in the comment section, and that goes for YouTube as well. So if you want to do the angels activity, which I've chosen, just say yes. If I get lots of yeses, that's fine. Okay, so students saying yes, please, yes. Okay, the more yeses we get, that will kind of make me stay to do that. Okay, I think that's most students are saying yes, which sounds exciting. So Ustadh Emre, if you're busy, and you need to go somewhere, that's fine. If you want to stay on, then that's
yeah, I will stay.
Perfect. Yeah, and then in the meantime, if I'm making any mistakes, because this is your textbook, please do correct me as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Inshallah. So do that, and that would be nice to see. So okay, so I think because okay, so before we start that, Zahra wants to ask a question to Ustadh Emre. So Zahra, if you just hold on for a second whilst I enable your mic. So just hold on a second, Zahra. Okay, Zahra, I have enabled your mic. So go ahead, ask Ustadh Emre what your question is.
Alaikum salam.
So I joined a little bit late, but do you have like anything, like any of your, like, do you have any like videos on YouTube or any other platform?
So we have only introduction video, but we don't have any video about activities. So it was the first time we have done here.
Oh, interesting. This is your first virtual
online,
lesson.
Online.
Oh, mashallah. Yeah. So we've been blessed to have Ustadh Emre doing his very first session with us at Fatima.
Thanks for
Jazakallah, Zahra. I'm just gonna. Sorry, Sophia, are you gonna ask a question?
Yes.
Go for it.
I on the chat I said, could I please start my video?
Oh, you want to start your video? Would you want to show us something?
I just wanted to say I just wanted to say who is that who is the man over there in the corner of?
Are you talking about the man that's on the PowerPoint, as in near the cow and the shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ustadh Emre, if you can tell us who that man is.
Okay. He's a famous artist who converted to Islam in the Philippines. His name is Robin Padilla.
Oh, very nice.
So he's famous in the Philippines.
Interesting.
But alhamdulillah, he became Muslim.
Is that okay, Sophia? Does that answer your question? Are you satisfied with that?
Yes.
Okay, Jazakallah, Sophia. I'm just going to put your mic on mute until you need to ask another question. Okay, so everyone has, Jazakallah for writing down the name. If anyone wants to research Robin Padilla, that'd be good as well. Okay, the next section is the angels activity. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few minutes to explain. Let's see what's on the chat. Okay, right, so let's move on. So for this activity, we need to get some resources together. Okay, so I've got mine right here on the table. So you will need 4 things. Okay, you'll need, number 1, you need a glass of water. So that means you need a glass and you need water inside it, okay? So here's my glass, if you can see on the camera. Here's my glass of water. Can you see it's got real water inside it, okay? I put that down. The next thing you will need, okay, is a table. Don't go finding it yet. Let me tell you everything first, then you can go and get it, okay? Then you need a tablespoon, okay? Not a teaspoon, but a tablespoon, right? So I've got mine here. And then you also need sugar. So I've got my 2 cubes of sugar here, okay? You don't need to have cubes. You can also have the normal sugar that you have in your house, but it's got to be white sugar based on Ustadh Emre's textbook. So it's got to be white sugar based on, so remember, glass with water, tablespoon and sugar. You've got 2 minutes, 2.5 to 3 minutes to go and get that right in front. So if you have 4 brothers or sisters watching the same laptop, you just need 1 cup. Okay, you don't need 4 cups, just 1 cup. You all will get a chance to do this activity from that 1 cup. Okay, so off you go. Your 2 minutes start now. And the first person to get all those resources, please let us know on the chat.
Dania says
Okay,
she doesn't have sugar.
Yeah, you can get a sweetener. That's absolutely fine. Well done, Dania, for not having sugar. That means you're taking care of your health. Well done. What? You can take one. You got your glass of water in?
For everything.
Who said I've got everything? Who was that? Can you tell me your name? Who's got everything? So you can either say it verbally on Zahra. Well done, Zahra. Well done. You've got everything. Okay. If anyone else has got everything, do mention it on the chat. Oh, so good question for Ustadh Emre. Riaz is asking, warm water or cold water?
If you make it harder, it can be cold. But if you make it like faster, so it should be warm. So I think we don't have so much time. So better to have a warm water than.
Yeah, but remember, it doesn't need to be boiling. You don't need to turn the kettle on. Just maybe from your tap, hot water or warm water from your tap. Don't make it too hot. Yeah. Otherwise, that would be cheating, isn't it? Okay. Okay, so on the chat, let me know when you have your things. Let me know if you've got all your things. So Zahra's got all. Zahra's got her glass of water. Sorry, who was that? Always mention your name because I can't tell who you are.
Zahra.
Okay, Zahra, what have you got? Let me know. Speak out.
I have got warmer water now.
You've got warmer water now, and do you have your tablespoon?
Yeah, and my sugar.
And you've got your sugar. Fantastic. Okay. You've got your spoonful of sugar. Who said that? Who said that in a movie? Well, you'll find out on the next slide. Mary Poppins, well done. You'll find out, you'll see her on the next slide. So, spoonful of sugar. Okay, who else has got theirs? Okay, Alina is saying that we are ready. So that's Alina and Habib have their glass with water, a tablespoon, and some sugar. Okay, fantastic. Riaz and family are saying we have everything. Fantastic. Everyone got everything else? I think we'll give another 30 seconds and then we will start this activity. What I'm going to do now, actually, to make this a bit more exciting, I'm going to start enabling everyone's mic and their cameras, okay? But I'm going to unmute you. I'm going to mute everyone just so that there's not a racket, okay? And in the meantime, everyone can start getting anything else they need to do. So I will bring everyone forward. Everyone's going to be a participant, okay? So remember, no shouting. Panelist. So whilst everyone else is getting their things, I'm promoting everyone as a panelist. Please turn on your cameras and you don't need to turn on your mic because we just need to see you doing this. We don't need to hear you doing it. Okay, so do start turning on your mics. Oh, sorry, not your mics, your cameras.
Video.
Turn on your camera. Okay, turn on your cameras, not your mics, as I mentioned.
Hello.
So can someone turn on their camera so I can see? It's not letting you. Okay, so what we'll do is, right, I'll make you co-hosts, everyone, yeah? Co-host. So I'm going to, once I turn you into co-host, you'll be able to share your cameras, okay? And then we'll start this activity where everyone needs to do this on the camera, okay? Is that clear, everyone? Make co-host, so someone's come on now. So once you have it, please do turn on your cameras if you can. You don't need to show your face if you're uncomfortable with that, okay? Make co-host. By the time I finish, hopefully everyone would have had their co-host. Okay, everyone's a co-host now, yeah, I believe. Right, so if you want to start showing your cameras, okay, there's lots of cameras that have been turned on. Leave your mics off, is better that way, I think. Okay, so Safiya, do you want to show your camera? It's up to you. Yeah, Safiya's as well. Right, so here's my cup, here's my spoon, and here's my sugar, right? So are we ready to do this? Okay, so first of all, the first step, don't do anything yet until I tell you the next step. So watch the PowerPoint. Okay, so first step, can everyone see my PowerPoint? Can everyone see Mary Poppins in the corner?
Yeah.
Right, who can tell me why I've put Mary Poppins there?
I don't know.
Sorry, who said that?
Zahra.
Zahra, can you say that again, please, Zahra? Yeah, she sung a song about the spoonful of sugar. Okay, so now you're going to put one tablespoon of sugar, okay, inside the water, and then you're going to start stirring, okay? And let's see who's able to stir and get rid of their sugar and whose water dissolves the fastest, okay? Let's keep on doing that. Whoever's dissolves the quickest wins the first round. So keep on dissolving, keep on dissolving. It looks like I might win this one, actually. Keep doing that, keep on doing that, keep going, keep going. Keep doing it, keep going, keep going. Right, good. Well done, everyone, well done, keep going, keep going. Okay, I'm still doing mine. You shouldn't have any particles of this white sugar left, okay? If you finished, if it's dissolved, do show me on your camera.
Okay. Okay, Mama is coming.
So Zahra has put her, Alina said that hers is dissolved completely. Okay, can you see mine? Mine has completely dissolved. I put a whole cube in there. Can you see that? Zahra's is dissolved. Good. Hussein, has yours dissolved yet?
Mine is dissolved.
Yours is dissolved. Well done. Well done, well done, Zakaria. And Riaz and family is dissolved. Hussein, can you show me your cup, please?
Mine is dissolved.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Julia, can you show me your cup, please? I can't see it on the camera.
I can't see you. I see.
That's better. Okay, cool. Brilliant. And Safiya, yours is dissolved?
Yes.
Yes. Well done. Okay. So now, what we will do is we're going to skip to the last bit because we're pretty out of time. We're going to skip to the very last bit. What you can do, if you have another brother or sister, who needs to do this, let them do one more spoon. If you're doing it on your own, put in another spoon and mix it. And let's see who finishes first. For someone who hasn't had a go, give them a go. Off you go. If you're on your own, then you can do it again.
He's doing an experiment.
Right, keep going, everyone. Keep going. Well done, keep going. Right, so Alina, make sure you let Habib do it. Habib, make sure you let Alina do it. Okay, some more have done it. So once you've done it, just show us the clear glass of water. So everyone sees Zahra's one. Well done, Zahra. Well done, Safi. Well done, Hussein. Well done, Zakaria. Okay, this is good. Okay. Okay, right. And we have Dania online as well. So Dania, can I see your glass, please? And interestingly, Dania's glass is out in space. Okay, which we're going to move towards. Okay, what we're going to do now, we'll give you one more go. One more go to put one more tablespoon. So if there's 3 of you doing this together, give a chance to someone who has not had a go. One more tablespoon of sugar. Off you go. 3, 2, 1. One last tablespoon of sugar. Okay, off you go. Start stirring, start stirring. Full tablespoon of sugar.
Why is Julia
Juria's not stirring because I took one of her sugar cubes and she has none left. Okay, let's see who's a winner on this occasion. Let's see who has won. Okay, so we've got Safia there. We've got Zakaria. We've got Hussein. Well done, Hussein. The Riaz family are still doing it, so keep on doing it. Maybe both brothers can hold the spoon together to do it. No, okay. Right, and then we've got Zahra who's finished hers. Fantastic, well done. That's brilliant. Hussein, show me yours. Well done, Hussein. That's fantastic. Excellent. Okay, what we're going to do, I'm going to share the screen again. So watch out for our next step of what we're going to do next and how this relates to angels and Islamic studies. So let me share my screen again. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Or can you see?
Yeah.
Right, you can see the screen. That's cool. Right, so Jazakallah for that. Let's stop stirring now because otherwise we're going to hear the clinging sound. Now the next stage is the important stage, step 5. Now, everyone take only one sip of that water and taste it.
That's easy.
All right, just one small sip. I don't want you to take all of it, just one sip.
Oh,
That's yummy.
that's
Right.
not nice.
Pass it around to your family as well. Okay, so whoever else is there, let them know of your concoction that you've just made.
It's nice and sweet.
Nice and sweet. Okay, interesting.
So
Okay,
Delish.
right. Okay, so can everyone mute their mics for me, please, whilst I ask some questions? So first of all, first question. What happened to the sugar you added into the water? So you remember, the water was clear. You saw the white cubes or flakes of sugar. You put it in the water. You stirred it. What happened? So who's going to give me an answer for that? Actually, let me choose people. So let's ask Hussein. What happened to the water? I'm unmuting your mic. So unmute your mic. Just let me know what happened to the sugar that you had in your hand or your spoon before you put it in the water. What's happened? Where has it gone?
So the sugar has dissolved when I was stirring it in the water.
Well done. The sugar dissolved. And what happens? You can no longer see it, can you?
Yeah.
Okay, well done. Well done, Hussein. Let's move on. After the sugar is dissolved in water, can you still see the sugar? So Safia, that question is for you. So let me know on your mic. Can you, so look at your glass. So everyone have a look at your glass. Can you see any water? Sorry, can you see any sugar? On Safia? No. Okay, well done. And that's the same for everyone else who's shaking their head left to right. Well done. Now, if the teacher says the water has sugar in it, would you believe it? So for example, okay, if the glass of water in my hand, imagine I came early morning, Okay, no one knew what I put inside this, and I put this on my desk, and I call you one by one and say, look, this water has sugar in it. Will you believe it straight away? Explain why you will or will not. Who would like to explain that? So Zahra, go for it.
Yes.
Yes, because I trust you.
Oh, that's nice. I like that answer. Because you trust me. Okay. What
Yes,
if? Yeah. Someone else? Give me an answer.
Yes, because you put it in, and then it got dissolved. But
That's
still,
good. But I came in the morning into school, into madrasa, and I didn't show you. Imagine I didn't show you that I did it. And I just showed you this glass of water. Would you believe me then?
no.
Okay, good answer as well. So both answers are very good. I like both answers. One says yes because you trust me. One says no because you can't see it. Is there anyone else who wants to add another reason for it? So we've got two reasons.
I
Oh, yes
know.
and a no.
I'd ask if I could try some.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So you would say, actually, before I give you my answer, I want to try some. Good. Okay. Right. Anyone else want to give an answer or a reason? Go for it.
Nah, I lost it.
Okay. So anyone else want to give an answer? Okay. Let's move on to the next question. How would you prove that there is sugar in that glass of water? How do you prove it? Yeah, Zahra, go for it.
Just taste it.
Taste it.
Good. You'll taste it. Well done. Right. So that's your experience, isn't it? You'll have to get acquainted with that water. You have to taste that water. Okay, let's move on to the next bit. Okay, so now can we just let me just mute everyone just for a second whilst I'm talking. Okay, so sorry for muting everyone. I've just had to do that because otherwise we'll keep on hearing sounds. Okay, so now comes the juicy part on why we did this exercise. Okay, actually before this juicy part, could you put your hand up and let me know how this example might relate to Islamic studies and maybe angels? How can this example relate to angels? So Zahra, I'm going to unmute you. Please let me know. Go for it, Zahra.
Because we can't see angels, but we know they're there.
Nice. Okay, we can't see angels, but we know they're there. Have you tasted an angel, Zahra?
No.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so maybe taste in the metaphorical world might mean something else. Okay, it might metaphorically mean something else. Maybe an experience, a feeling. Okay, good. Let's move on. Who else wants to give an answer? Put your hand up. Let me just make the screen so I can see everyone. Right, who's put their hand up? Okay, the Riyaz family. Ria, off you go. Go for it. Start again, please.
Because it's Allah that
Go for it. Try your best. Don't worry if you get it wrong. Yeah, everyone has a little go. There's no such thing as a wrong answer or a bad answer, because in this, I just want you to guess anyway. Go on. Shall I come back to you later on? Yeah. Okay, I'll come back to you. Who else has their hand up? Juwaria. Off you go, Juwaria. Your mic is enabled.
Do you know when you gave the example about the teacher, like you trust the teacher, so you trust Allah as well?
Okay, interesting. I like that. So you're going back to Zahra's point that Zahra said she would trust me with this water because water and sugar in it because she trusts me as a person. That's very interesting. So you're saying that you trust the message that Prophet ﷺ brought. You trust the Prophet, therefore you trust his message, which comes in the form of the Quran. I like that. Okay. Anyone else want to add anything to that before we move on to this example, which hopefully will stay in your mind and your heart? Anyone else? Okay, let's move on to the actual explanation given in the book. So can you see I've given a picture of the galaxy in the universe? Okay, so let's put our glass right in the middle. If it decides to come, there we go. There's our glass. Now, this glass in this example activity that we did is the universe. Okay, so look at this glass as the universe. That's the first thing. the water inside this glass, which is the universe, okay, is the creation inside the universe. So remember, glass is the universe, the water inside it. Can everyone mute their mics? Otherwise, we're going to hear all these sounds. Well, let me actually do it. Let me just very quickly do it because sometimes mics can be annoying. 1 second, everyone. Sorry about that. Mute all. Okay, so everyone should be able to hear me still. Bismillah, let me just see. Okay, so coming back. So the glass is the example of the universe. The water inside it is the creation inside the universe. So all Allah's creation, everything you can see. So us humans, all the animals, the trees, the mountains, the skies, the water that falls, the rain, the build, every single thing that you see is the water. Okay, now in that example, the sugar is the angels and other creation that we cannot see. So that could be the angels, it can be other creation of Allah that we cannot see, like the jinn, okay? Many more creations of Allah, okay? And in this very example, the message is the taste of the sugar is an example of the existence of angels. Even though we cannot see the sugar dissolved in the water, but sugar is present in the water, okay? And what tells us that sugar is there? It is the taste, okay? Now what will be interesting is, how do we interpret taste in this example? It could be our experience, so religious experience. It could be our trust in the Prophet's message. It could be a whole array of things. But the most important message, I believe, in this story is that let's see what's happened. Someone has, just wait a second, everyone. Okay, we're back. Right. So, Riaz, if you can stop touching the screen, otherwise it's going to go back and forth. Okay, so don't, and that goes for everyone else. Try not to touch the screen. Okay, back to the point. Okay, so in this example, just a bit. Okay, you know what? I will have to remove everyone, just because otherwise it's going to keep on creating chaos. So just bear with me for literally 30 seconds, okay? Okay, I think that should be fine. Right, so in this example, so can everyone see me? Right, so in this example, right, this glass is the universe. The water inside it, right, is the creation of Allah. And then inside that water, the sugar that we had before, which dissolved and we can no longer see, is the angels and other creation of Allah that we cannot see. And not just creation, but anything else that we cannot see. It can even be viruses, for instance, okay? Very, very small microscopic viruses that you cannot see. All of that comes under the sugar part. So that's the lesson that we're learning here, that in order to know that angels exist, we need to taste that sugar. And that taste could be interpreted in a whole array of things. Okay, so we've come to an end even with this example. So well done everyone for staying on board. Any final comments or questions? Do let me know. Any final questions or comments?
So the point here in the game, you have seen through the game that even though things exist, sometimes we cannot see it. We have to believe on it. So it doesn't mean that we have to see everything, but there are lots of things that we cannot see. So this is the point in the game.
Absolutely. So if you can't see something, it doesn't always mean that it's not there, right? And this is sometimes when we talk to our students about scientism. So there's a big difference between science and scientism. Science is where we look at things that are observable, that we can see or feel or touch, and then we apply various types of exercises in the lab. We do various kinds of lab activities to find out about things that we can see. But when we cannot see things, that's out of the remit of science. Science no longer gets involved in that, and that's where your faith and religion comes into it. Scientism, however, is the claim of certain pseudoscientists who say that science can explain everything. But actually, that's not the case, and that's not the purpose of science. Science is not there to tell you what happens in your grave. Science doesn't tell you what happens after you pass away. Science doesn't tell us whether there's a God or not. That's not the point of science. And science definitely doesn't tell us anything about things we cannot see. So like angels, it's not the purpose of science to do that. And that's where element of trust also comes into it. Okay, Jazakallah everyone. And once more, I'm going to say Jazakallah to Ustadh Emre, who stayed with us all the way for an hour and a half. Jazakallah for your time, Ustadh Emre. Jazakallah for being with us. Jazakallah for sharing your knowledge with us. And inshallah, someday we'll have you again when you have more time. It will be an honor to have you, inshallah. And maybe at least once in Ramadan, where we can do a session from the book again and do some fun activities which make you think, make you realize. Jazakallahu khairan for that. Okay, and students are saying Jazakallah as well.
My pleasure, and thanks for having me here. It was so much fun with your students. They're really brilliant. Alhamdulillah. So I will wish also fruitful Ramadan. It's coming very soon. And I expect your du'as as well in the holy month of Ramadan.
Likewise, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.